Hello, 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 everybody. It's Thursday, and you know what that means? A new episode of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. I'm your host, Bernadine, and, welcome to episode 10 of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. How's everybody doing? Check in. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Tap in. Um, you know, so, again, how's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Previous episodes can be found on my YouTube site. So visit the site, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. Also share the live, please. And thank you. This is a talk show where we discuss sports, politics, current affairs, entertainment, gossip, the news, and whatever is trending in our community and around the world. Also, if it's a trending topic, it will be discussed as well. Your thoughts and opinions are welcome. You, the viewers, will be asked to participate. You can ask questions, make comments, give your opinion. Again, it's an interactive show, and your participation will also give you the opportunity to win the gift of the week. And the gift this week is a week's supply of immunity. So I'll tell you more about this product when we get to the giveaway section. Okay. So our aim is to have fun while discussing and learning about various topics, etc., getting different points of view, and just enjoy ourselves. So if you were hearing me, seeing me, drop a comment. Let me know who is here with me so far, and let's go. So as usual, we're going to start tonight with our musical artist preview of the week. And this week, one of the artists is Sasco, Agent Sasco. He's got a new video out that he did with his daughter, Lauren, LC, and it's called Caterpillars Can't Fly. It's a very, very, very beautiful song. It's based on the book by Alvin Day. The title of the book is If Caterpillars Can Fly, So Can I. It's a nice song, and it's a song for your younger kids. The book itself is more of a motivational book. So, check it out if you can. Check out the book and check out the video. It's awesome. Ragging King also has a new video out called Squeeze Trigger. And as you can surmise from the title, it's a gun video, violence-based video. So it's very, very different from Sasco's video, but again, it's a nice song. Squash also has a new video out called Rate Who Rate You. It's a good song. It's also got some, adult lyrics in it, but you can amidst to the song and it'll go on. So yeah, those are the three artists for the week: Sasco, Ragging King, and Squash. So check out all the videos on YouTube, and video links are in my description box on YouTube as well. Hi, Colleen. Thanks for checking in. Hope you're feeling better. If anybody else has checked in, let me know. Say hi. We're going to circle to the sports arena right now. So the NBA finals, NBA playoffs are on, and I'm going to highlight a couple of teams that more was expected from them, but so far they're not doing too well. So the Clippers is one of the teams that I'm highlighting, and I'm doing that because they're 0-2 in their series with Dallas. And I'm talking about them because this was a team that Kawhi Leonard left the Raptors for and went to that team in LA. And the analysts basically dubbed them champions after that move and ridiculed the Raptors in the process. Also, they stacked the team with a few other players, fired their previous coach, Doc Rivers, and did some front office changes. However, with all of what they've done, the team is still underachieving. So things are not going well in Clippers land right now. Game 3 is coming up on Friday. If they don't win Game 3, it's basically a wrap for them. So, let's hope they win that one. Brooklyn Nets is doing what they're supposed to do. They're winning their games. They're up 2-0 on, I think they're playing, oh God, can't remember the team that they're playing, but they're doing well. Lakers isn't doing so well. They're playing game 3 tonight against Phoenix. Phoenix won game 1. Lakers won game 2. Lakers had to do a play-in order to get to the playoffs. So the series is tied at 1-1, and we'll see who wins game 3 tonight. The Blue Jays had a rough patch last week and lost 4 games in a row. They've since won their last 2 games, and they're playing the Yankees today. So I'm not quite sure what that score is yet because the game isn't over. They still have a winning record of 25-23. TFC, they've played 6 games so far. They've lost 3, draw 2, and won 1. They're still struggling to, find their winning ways, but hopefully they find it soon, because I'm not sure if they'll have a winning season this year if they continue to play the way that they're playing, or if they'll even get to the playoff based on the way they're playing. So we'll see what happens. And in hockey news, the Maple Leafs kicked off their playoff run against their rivals, the Montreal Canadiens, last week. It didn't start well, as their captain, John Tavares, had an injury in the first game, and he's out with an injury. He's out indefinitely. They're not quite sure when he'll return. The series is going well for the Leafs so far, because they're leading the Habs 3-1. If they win the game tonight, they will win the series and move on to the next round. So wishing them luck. Also, can you imagine how the Leafs fans will be trolling the Habs fan when the Leafs win the series? Oh man, it's going to be a nightmare downtown. I mean, we're under lockdown, but they'll still find a way to come out and party for just that one series win. Oh man, so gonna start my chattings around the world in Brazil. The lovely little man on screen is my opening story for the night. So imagine being married for only 2 weeks and found out that your husband died because he was trying to hide from you, as he was having a threesome with his friend and a hooker while you were on vacation. So to give you the backstory on what happened, the guy on screen is Brazilian singer MC Kevin, who fell to his death from a Rio de Janeiro hotel balcony on Sunday after allegedly trying to hide from his wife following a threesome with a model. Bianca Dominguez, who is the model, age 26, reportedly told police she met the 23-year-old artist. Apparently, he is famous in Brazil. She met the 23-year-old artist, whose real name was Kevin Nascimento Bueno, and his friend Victor Fontenelle. And the trio had a sex and alcohol-fueled evening. Alcohol will do it every time. While things were going on, he got word from both his friend and the security guard that his wife was on her way to their hotel room from the pool. In trying to hide from his wife, he went on the balcony. Now, did I tell you they were staying on the 5th floor? Yes. They were staying on the 5th floor. He went on the balcony and tried to jump to the balcony below. So he tried to jump from the 5th floor to the 4th floor balcony, missed, and ended up falling to his death. Mr. Bueno had only been married to his wife, Diolene Bezerra, a criminal lawyer, for 2 weeks. He ended up killing himself, all for trying to hide from his wife and paying for pumps. Better if him did make him wife catch him. He might have been bruised, but he would have been alive. He would have been alive. But you've only been married for 2 weeks and you're on vacation and you're already cheating, paying, buying sex. Man. Anyways, moving on. We're going to Florida. So, Florida prosecutors filed a manslaughter charge Friday against a Dunkin' Donuts store employee who is accused of fatally punching a 77-year-old customer after the employee said the man repeatedly used a racial slur against him. Tampa police arrested Corey Pujols, 27, earlier this month. The victim, who officials haven't named, was punched May 4th and died 3 days later, according to authorities. Pujols told police that the man was extremely rude the day of the punch and had called him a racial slur. Pujols, who is black, said he confronted the man about the slur, at which point the 77-year-old man repeated it. The slur was not described further by police, so they don't know what was said. Pujols never told them what was said. He just said it was a racial slur and he punched him out. A Tampa Police Department report states that after he was punched, the victim fell backward and hit his head on the concrete floor. An autopsy shows the man suffered a skull fracture and brain contusions. So now, because of anger and not being able to control his anger, 27-year-old Pujols may end up spending the rest of his life behind bars because some man called him a name that he didn't like. I'm sure in hindsight, he's thinking that he should have just kept going and not paid any attention to that man, because now it's not worth spending time in jail for somebody calling you whatever word they call you. It's just not worth it. So let's see who else have jumped on. If you're watching, if you've just joined, welcome. Say hi, say hello. Let me know who's here. So we're going to circle to Japan. A Japanese bullet train driver is facing disciplinary action after he left the crew compartment of the train traveling at 150 kilometers per hour with 160 passengers inside to use the bathroom. The Shinkansen driver asked a conductor to sit in his place while he went to relieve a stomach ache. According to Kyoto News Agency, the conductor, who was not qualified to drive the train, sat in the compartment for 3 minutes and never touched the controls. Shinkansen drivers who feel ill are required to either stop at the nearest station or report to an operations center and hand the controls to a qualified conductor. But the driver said he didn't want to lose time by stopping the train at the next stop. I didn't report it because it was embarrassing, he told JR Central, the railway company operating in central Japan. He and the conductor might have gotten away with their transgressions if the train hadn't arrived 1 minute late at its next stop, which immediately triggered an investigation. So imagine the train 1 minute late, and them do a whole big investigation to find out why the train was a minute late. The incident happened last weekend while the train was speeding along the Tokaido line, which links Tokyo and Osaka, The Guardian reported. In Japan, they're very particular about these trains being on time. Even a 10-second delay, they investigate to see why the train was late. So this driver, in not wanting to be late, put the conductor in charge, but ended up being late anyways. They haven't said what's going to happen with him or whatever, but imagine the train being a minute late. and a whole investigation is going on. Yeah, that would not be happening in Toronto, because the bus them always late and whatever. Yeah, Colleen, nature call. Nature call him couldn't, but he might as well had stop at the next stop and relieve himself, and there would not have been an investigation and disciplinary action. So, for him, yeah. So we're gonna go to Australia. Really taking you guys around the world. I've been to Brazil, been to USA, been to Japan. Now I'm going to Australia. So imagine being on a flight and it ended up flying past where it's supposed to go because the pilot fell asleep at the controls. That's what happened to a flight in Australia recently. They flew 110 kilometers past their destination. Air traffic controllers lost contact with the pilot for at least 40 minutes. They tried to contact him with no luck, so they had to divert air traffic in the vicinity, alerted the Australian Defence Force, and notified maritime rescue in case the plane had fallen out of the sky into the seas. 40 minutes. 40 minutes is a long time to be on a plane, and yeah. So, but thankfully, the pilot woke up, managed to, revive himself and land the plane safely. Apparently, he's a retired pilot who does extra flights. According to him, he didn't have a good sleep the night before. And according to air traffic controller, there's a certain section that he had to go to where he never got enough oxygen, and he didn't take enough oxygen in order to keep himself awake. And there was something else they said that he had the heater on in the cockpit, and it was a whole combination of things that contributed to him falling asleep for 40 minutes, and he got lucky. So Erica says, oh dear. Oh, welcome, Erica. Thanks for checking in. And Colleen says, look here, not taught them things that make people here and scared to fly. Colleen, the amount of things. And then Colleen says, so them old people go on, not like retire and sit down. Sometimes some people just don't like to not work. They want to work there. And with him, he had enough hours. He could work. He was experienced, but he was tired. And he, fell asleep. But it's the length of the time that he fell asleep. I mean, yeah, do have some time I doze for a minute or two, but a whole 40 minutes? Just think, flying from Toronto to Ottawa. That's how long he was asleep for, literally. Flying from Toronto to Ottawa, that's how long he would be asleep for. So that's a long time. So we're going to touch down in Ontario for a bit and touch on the vaccine situation that's happening right now. So if you recall last week, there was notice that the government will no longer issue first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine due to the blood clot issue. Yes, I have to say those words slowly, blood clot slowly. At that time, they had not yet decided what would happen to those people who had already gotten the first dose, whether they would have gotten a second dose of the same vaccine or whether they would mix it with another vaccine. Well, what has been decided is that they would continue with the AZ vaccine and start to roll out second shots for those who have already gotten their first shots. But as recommended, there's a wait of 10 to 12 weeks in between shots. So they're presently giving second shots to people who had gotten their first shots in March. As usual, the second rollout is not going as smoothly, and there are thousands of shots that are set to expire on Monday and will have to be thrown out if they're not used. So as usual, we're just bungling this whole vaccination process. So it's not going smoothly. Let's see. Erica said, so where was the co-pilot? Apparently there wasn't one. He was by himself. It was a flight within Australia, so I don't know what their requirements are, why he did not have a co-pilot. But yeah, he was there by himself, and that was it. We're staying in Canada, but on a federal level, Canada has decided to extend the ban on direct flights from India and Pakistan for another 30 days. Direct commercial and private passenger flights from India and Pakistan will continue to be denied permission to arrive in Canada. This is due to their further outbreak in those countries, as well as the type of virus and the variant they have. The ban has been extended to June 21st. So we're staying in Ontario, and while we're still under a lockdown, and by some of the things that are happening outside, you have to wonder what kind of lockdown we're under, because I don't know if you guys heard that police broke up a car rally in Pickering at Brock and Kingston Road. There was over 2,000 people in, I think they said almost 1,000 cars over there doing donuts and all kinds of stuff, and it got out of hand and police couldn't control the crowd. And yeah, that was a long weekend that just passed. Okay, so apparently, we're looking forward to see what changes will be made. We're going to be going into step 1 if up to 60% of the Ontario population have gotten their first vaccine dosage. There's been a reduction in the daily cases. It's under 1,500. I think it was about 1,100 this morning. So fingers crossed. I think they're talking about opening up non-essential stores with a limited capacity of 10 to 15%. I haven't heard anything as to whether personal care businesses will be opened. Most of them, all of them have been closed since November. They've not been able to provide legal service since November. So we just have to check and see what announcements are made in the coming week and how the new reopening will be going. They're also talking about getting kids back in school at the end of May. At this point, it's hard for the kids at home and it's hard for the parents to help the kids at home. But to start back school June 1st and then by July 1st, you're on holidays, that not make it. So you might as well just finish out the school year at home, and September start fresh with everybody going out to school. So if I have new viewers joining, please say hello, say hi, and comment, and let's see what's happening. So to give you a rundown of what the corona numbers are right now, in Canada, we've tested 1.37 million people, 1.31 million have recovered, and we have 25,361 deaths. Worldwide, it's 168 million that have been tested, 100 million plus have recovered, and 3.49 million have died. Ontario numbers are, we've tested 526,000, 500,000 have recovered, and 8,678 have died. And in Jamaica, they've tested 48,081 people, 24,226 have recovered, and 931 of them have died. And the numbers aren't going down, but they're not going up as fast as they used to. So that's something to be glad for. So recently, we're staying in Ontario, and recently in York region, there was a 911 call that came in that stated that a car was driving erratically on the road. The caller reported that the vehicle had missed hitting two other vehicles, and it seemed as if it was being driven by a young child. When police showed up and eventually pulled over the vehicle, they found two people in it, an adult male and a young 12-year-old boy. They tested the man for sobriety, and it turns out that he was intoxicated, and also turned out that the 12-year-old boy was steering the vehicle because his father was passed out behind the wheel and could not drive because him drunk. The father has since been charged with driving impaired and endangerment of a child. Now imagine you go about your business and vehicle just come out of ways, nowhere come lick you because the man drunk and can't drive and fall asleep, and the poor little boy didn't know if you try steer the vehicle on the road, feet no, it no meet in an accident, it no lick nobody. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand these people and them drinking at all. So as an update to the story that I brought to you guys last week, the lady Nicola Clark that's on screen, she was a lady that was set on fire allegedly by her boyfriend. She has since been flown to Augusta, Georgia in the USA in order for her to get treatment for her burns. They've also set up a GoFundMe to help raise funds for her to help pay for her treatment. A charitable foundation, San Myrna Foundation, with Stephen Joseph as a project manager, is assisting her with some of the cost of her treatment, which they said will end up costing her more than $1 million US. That's a lot. That is a lot. Apparently, Jamaica does not have a burn unit, and with the severity of her burns, she could not be treated properly in Jamaica. So that's why she had to be flown out to the USA. It's also said that the boyfriend was caught when he showed up to the hospital for treatment, as he too had burns to his body. So I guess, I don't know how him get burned, but him burn up himself as well. So that's how they caught him, because he ran away from the scene of the crime after him burned her. So we're staying in Jamaica, and if you're just checking in, say hello, say hi. Let me know who's here keeping my company tonight. So we're going to go to Liontown, and it is another case of one brother shooting another brother, killing him. Oh, hi, Enid. Good night. How are you? I've sent off your package, so you should be getting that in the mail shortly. Thanks for checking in. So we're going into Liontown. There was some type of argument between family members, and the younger brother was being very disrespectful and abusive to other members of his family. He was asked to leave the property, and he got even angrier and went and got a piece of pipe, which he used to hit his older brother, who is a police officer. The older brother, in getting hit and tried to defend himself further, shot him and killed him. I haven't heard further whether or not the police, whether the older brother will get charged or not. They haven't stated. So, question for you guys: should the police brother have dealt with the matter differently? Seeing that it is a family member, seeing that it's his brother, should he have either just fired a shot to get the brother to not hit him anymore. Should he have tried to? I know police officers are not trained to shoot, not to kill. But should he have dealt with it differently? What says you guys? Should he have done something? Should he not, know how to deal with that kind of situation without having to resort to shooting his own brother, killing him? So let's see. Oh, hi, Jamila. Good night. How are you? Thanks for checking in. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so do you guys think that the police brother dealt with the matter the way it should have been dealt with, or could he have dealt with it in a different manner? Apparently the younger brother that died, he's always been a hothead. He's an alcoholic. You can't talk to him. He had issues with other family member in a different part of the island, and that's why the older brother ended up taking him into his own house, and then he came up there and he was being disrespectful to his grandmother and other family members, and that's what happened. So it's yeah, I don't know. I think it could have been dealt with differently, but so we're going to circle to New York, and we are going to talk a little about Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, who died in prison. There was a lot of comments regarding how he died and if he had help in killing himself or was he killed by someone. So it turns out, hold on, I'm just trying to fix something. It turns out that two of the prison guards who were on duty that was supposed to be doing half-hourly checks, doing rounds on the half hour, did not do so, and they lied on the night watch report. On the night watch report record, it has since been found out that they were sleeping and sometimes scanning the internet and did not do their rounds. Hence why he was able to hang himself and they did not find him before he died. They have since been charged with lying on prison records and have entered into an agreement with the prosecutors and will avoid jail time. They will have to do 100 hours of community service and must cooperate with the Justice Department in their ongoing probe as to how Jeffrey Epstein died. A judge still needs to approve the deal. Some people are saying that they should be given a more severe sentence. I don't know. Why waste time? Why have him waste taxpayers' time and money and all of that stuff? Him dead. Him gone. Him deserve it. So Colleen said the cop should still charge. They should still charge a cop for murder. And Erica said, "Boy, this one tough." It is. It is. So we're coming back into Ontario, and it's a case of. Erica said, but it was self-defense. We don't know where or how the younger brother was hitting him with the pipe. The first hit, based on the voice notes that I heard from people that were on site and from the grandmother, him swing off of him, and the first lick him get was pan him on. And when he must swing again, the brother shoot him, and him dead. So, and them said it wasn't a small pipe. So if the pipe did lick him proper or whatever, who knows if the bigger brother, the police officer, would have been killed or whatever. So it's a sticky situation. It's a very sticky situation. Let's see who else have checked in. Hey sis, how are you? Blessings overall, natural. Okay. Hey Karen. Angie said they couldn't have stopped him from committing suicide. They couldn't have stopped him from attempting to commit suicide. However, they could have found him sooner where he might not have died from his attempt to commit suicide. And Erica says the younger brother could have licked him, kill him too. Yeah, that's true. So this one is a sticky situation. I'm thinking they probably just say that it's a self-defense situation and probably leave it at that, because who knows, if the pipe did lick him in the head proper, you know, it might not have survived. So it's a sticky situation. And good old Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, him kill himself, him gone. Who cares? The only thing is that the girls that were taking him to court, they're not gonna get their day in court because he's not there for them to, you know, talk to him and tell and all of that stuff. But other than that, nah. So in Ontario, this is a case, a murder case where the charges have been withdrawn because of self-defense. So the backstory is 25-year-old Chelsea Arcaracas murder charges have been dropped as they've decided that she killed her ex-boyfriend Brent Manchis in self-defense. Chelsea and Brent dated for 1 year, and during that time he was very abusive. She left him when he relapsed into taking drugs again. A few weeks after she left him, he reached out to her, called her. According to Chelsea, he sounded remorseful and was very emotional, and she agreed to meet up with him. However, it was a trap, and he started beating her as soon as she entered the apartment. She said the attack lasted for close to 1 hour. She eventually stabbed him in the leg with a knife, and even after that stab, they continued to fight, and he tried to get the knife from her. She eventually got free and ran out of the basement apartment. She knocked on a couple of people's door, and the person that helped her stated that he thought she was dressed in a costume because she was so battered and bloodied. She told the court that she had 2 black eyes, a broken nose, bite marks on her head, ears, and hands, and he had also ripped out her piercing and chunks of her hair. The part of it that I found weird was that when he called her and she agreed to meet him, she said her hand was still in a brace from when he broke 2 of her fingers on her right hand previously, for which there was a warrant out for his arrest. So even when she had not yet healed from the last time he beat her, she was swayed by him telling her that he was remorseful, and she actually went to meet him. I don't know if I understand that part there. Because man beat you up, broke your finger, you leave him, you say you're done with him, and then him call you, and you actually go show up again, where this time him almost kill you. Well, as I said, she stabbed him in the leg, and based on where he got stabbed, he bled to death. So in that case, they said it was the court dismissed the charges. They said it was a case of self-defense, and it was either him killing her or she killing him, and I guess she won that round. I just can't figure out how you show up to meet somebody else, somebody who's beaten you, broke your fingers are still broken, still in a cast, and they can call me and tell me to come meet because they want to talk to me. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Colleen said she was missing the beatings. Girl, I don't know. Jamila said, yes, do understand it. She is an idiot. I don't get it. I don't get it. Colleen says, LOL, it was incomplete. She loved him so much. I wonders which leg him get stabbing. I don't recall if they said which leg he got stabbing, but I think she hit one of the arteries, and they said it wasn't a big knife, it was a small knife, but based on where he in his leg he got stabbed, um, he bled to death. So, and Erica says, we know how this love thing goes. We're always expecting them to change. Yeah, we are, yeah. But Erica, man, beat you and broke your finger. Colleen says, missing the middle leg. Angie said, I think she went with the intent to kill him because of what he did to her. I don't know. I don't know. She claimed that, as soon as she walked in the door, as soon as he opened the door, he literally dragged her in the house and started beating on her, like punching her, and started whatever. And even after she stabbed him in the leg with a knife, I think based on what she said, she was able to pull the knife back out of his leg, and then they were struggling with the knife. So he was trying to get the knife from her, and I think she said that she got cut on her fingers because of the struggle for the knife. I don't know. Erica said, as sad as this sounds, this is common occurrence in behavior, especially in Jamaica. Yeah, that's true, because your woman in Jamaica said if the man no lick her, him no love her. Me hear woman talk that out of them mouth, if the man no lick her, the man don't love her. Me no understand that. Me no know how that work, because I will put up with most things, but me know said that never put up with that before, and in my old age, me not gonna put up with it. Not at all. But luckily for her, the court decided to dismiss the murder charges for her. She's in her 20s. With some counseling and some help, she can live a good life. She can live a good life. So we're going to circle around to New Jersey. And it's kind of a sad story too, but it turned out a little bit okay in the end. So a desperate teenager walked into a restaurant, handed her newborn baby to a good Samaritan, and then walked out in an incident that was captured on surveillance video in Jersey City, New Jersey. The girl, who was 14, entered the El Patron restaurant and approached the counter with a newborn baby girl in her arms on Wednesday afternoon. So that was last Wednesday. Surveillance footage shows she claimed that she'd found the girl and needed help. The lady came in, the patron that was in the restaurant said this lady comes in looking very desperate, holding a brand new baby, brand new child. Apparently the child still had like the mucus on it. The umbilical cord was still attached to it. The lady that the baby was handed to and started to look at the baby, she said when she looked over to the girl that had the baby, she could see dried blood on the girl as well. But because she was so focused on the baby, because she saw that the umbilical cord was still attached, and her ears and hair were covered in matter from the birthing process, she was more focused on helping the child. And so in being that the girl actually left the restaurant, so she just handed the baby to to them and left the restaurant. Police arrived a short time later and took the newborn to the hospital. They were also able to track down the mother and brought her to the hospital for treatment. They said that she is 14 and the mom and the baby are both doing well. The baby is going to be put up for adoption, and they so far they have not brought any charges against the mother. In New Jersey, I don't know if they do that here in Ontario, but in New Jersey, they have what's called a safe haven law. So it allows you to drop off an unwanted newborn at a police station, or a fire hall within 30 days of the birth of the child. So if she had taken the kid to a hospital and dropped it off and walked away, nothing would have happened. If she had taken to the police station or the fire hall and just left it, nothing would have happened because of the safe haven law that they have in New Jersey. But like I said, it had a good ending. The baby is safe. The baby is well. The baby didn't die, and they're both getting treatment. So let's see what happened. Enid says, from him, put him hand on me, no second chance for him, right? Colleen says she really needs treatment. At least she didn't kill the baby. Yeah, that's one of the redeeming factors of what happened, is that she handed it off, is that she lived, because she could have died giving birth to the baby by herself, wherever she gave birth to the baby, in the hospital, in the bathroom, or wherever. So she could have died and the baby could have died. But thankfully, both of them were okay. Both of them were fine. And they're both doing well so far. So we're going to go to Florida. And yeah. A 3-year-old boy accidentally shot his 2-year-old sister after finding a gun that had been hidden between sofa cushions by a family friend. Florida authorities said Saturday the girl was in exceptionally critical condition, and this happened in Polk County. And after the girl was shot, 3 men in the home at the time scooped up the children and jumped into a car to drive to the hospital. On their way to the hospital, they got into a crash with another vehicle, causing several injuries. The girl and one of the adults was taken to the hospital by a Good Samaritan who had stopped to offer assistance after the crash. The gun was brought into the Lakeland, Florida home by one of 3 men who had gathered Friday night to watch TV, authorities said. Kevonte Wilson, 23, told investigators he had placed the gun between sofa cushions so that it would be hidden from the children. He was arrested on charges of failing to safely store a firearm, carrying a concealed firearm, and possession of marijuana. He could face other counts, judge said. The home's owner, Chad Berrien, age 24, was charged with possession of marijuana and maintaining a house for drug use, the sheriff said. These people don't keep safety lock on them gun. There's a reason why they put safety locks on the gun. Imagine the 3-year-old could have killed his sister, and we're still not sure if she's going to survive, or he could have killed himself, or he could have killed somebody else. How is a 3-year-old able to pull the trigger on a gun? How is a 3-year-old able to pull the trigger on a gun? People supposed to have safety upon them things. Jamila said, poor babies. I know. Ah, boy. So a 61-year-old man, Angie said they should take the kids away unsafe home. It is an unsafe home. It's a drug home. So we're not quite, I don't know what they will do once the kids are, if the kid made it. I don't know what they will do with the 3-year-old because, again, it's a drug house, so it's not a safe house. So child services will make their decision as to what to do. But this next article I got off Dear Pastor. Poor little old man said should not get involved with a helper. So he says, I'm a 61-year-old. I'm a 61-year-old. I'm a widower. My wife died 5 years ago, and my 3 adult children are living in the USA. I really miss my wife. I took on a woman to wash, cook, and clean. She was doing so well that she became more than a helper to me, and that was the biggest mistake I have ever made. She started to sleep over, and sometimes she would even bring her grandchildren here. I wasn't against that because I love children and her grandchildren have manners. They're well behaved. My children in the USA always send money for me, and I use that money to pay this woman and to throw my partner. I got my partner draw of $70,000 and put it in one of my jacket pockets. And when I was ready for it, everything was gone. I asked her for my money and she said she didn't know what I was talking about. I don't see how I can allow this woman to work with me, but I am emotionally involved with her. She asked me, why would I fire her when I can't prove she took the money? She even started to cry when I told her she may have to go. I don't know what to do. So he's turning to Dear Pastor for help. So if I just him and her in the house and the money missing, who tell the money? Unless him spend it and him not remember say him spend the money. But if I 2 people in the house and money missing, if I know me, I the next person. And the man at 61, like, him still have time to find somebody else and do all of them something that, like, poor soul. Poor soul. Shaman said the dead wife come take the money. Shaman, you know, you might have a point. You may have a point that the dead wife come take the money. It could have been one of the grandkids. It might not even be her. It could be one of the grandkids. So, you know, she may be right that she didn't take the money. But yeah. Colleen says he is emotionally involved with her and she involved with the jacket pocket. She take it for the pay for the for the emotions. No man. No. Colleen, he is emotionally involved with her and she involved with the jacket pocket. She take it for the pay for the emotions. But the woman I get pay already if you wash, cook, and clean. So yeah, so that an extra pay now for the emotions that are now involved in it. Oh, okay. Jamila said him probably a step in the early age of Alzheimer's. Erica said, boy, if kitty cat hold him good, the kitty cat hold him good. Enid says she's collected PR. Somebody take the money and the money gone. Now imagine that my showing the internet's low. Imagine that you have your money and somebody thief the money and you are going to debate whether or not you're supposed to let that person out of your life. So he'd rather be with a thief than to be alone. Enid says she's collecting pension. Yeah, that could be true. That could be true because that was not a part of the agreement when she decided. So he need to start paying her more money to for the emotions that are now involved in the relationship. Me not understand. Not at all. Me not understand. Colleen said what Erica said, the kitty cat hold him. Girl, we know that once kitty cat get involved, how much man around the world, rich and poor, kitty cat knock out. So, poor soul. Probably did a plan for him 70,000 too, you know. Probably did a plan for him 70,000. Erica said him not too think about the money, him want the Lego, him not want Lego the kitty cat, right? Him not want Lego the kitty cat. Kaima say, and the woman smart too, you know, because the woman say, oh, him accuse her, and oh, him let her go, and him can't prove, say, she take the money. But if the kitty cat never hold him would not have no problem if he say, me lose my money, and me spend it a UT if it come out of my house and get another maid. But him emotionally involved. Whop, whop, hold him, whop, whop, hold him. Poor soul. I feel sorry for him, little bit at him age, little bit. So, the next story, me I go, Jamila said, him a plan, and the kitty cat did a plan too. Oh, Jesus. Him a plan, and the kitty cat did a plan. So I said, the better plan win, because the kitty cat plan work out because of the kitty cat plan have the money. So the better plan win. Ah, boy, y'all are just cray. That's just crazy. Can't imagine the man can't fight. That not nice at all. That not nice. That not nice at all. But this next story, after when we read it, me have a question for the ladies. When we read the next story, I'm gonna have a question for you. So it involves an NBA player. It involves an NBA player and what happened, and let me know you. I'll ask a question after. So NBA player Malik Beasley, he's 24, has decided that he wants back his wife and son. His family, he wants back his family. So not sure how many of you know or remember, but last year he stepped out with Larsa Pipini. So he stepped out with another woman. So the guy at the bottom is Malik Beasley. The girl on the left is his wife. The girl on the right is Larsa Pippen, the woman that he started cheating on his wife with. The wife did not find out about it until she saw them in the news media, because you know he's an NBA player, so anything they do gets put in the news and gets around the world. And they were seen holding hands in the airport, and the picture was published everywhere, and that's how his wife found out. The lady on the right, Laura Pippen, ex-wife of Scottie Pippen, is 46-year-old. The guy is 24-year-old, and I'm not sure age matters, but just for context. So after that happened, the wife's name is Montana. She came back and she said that Malik was kicking them out of the house, kicking her and their son out of the house. And he had given them 10 days to move out. Montana has since filed for divorce. She's moved out. She has her own place now and everything. So that happened late last year, and she filed for divorce in December. So yesterday, Malik is now come out with a public apology to Montana and claimed that he's hoping to get his family back. According to what he wrote, what he was looking for in the other woman, he didn't find it. And the reason why he didn't find it was because he already had it at home. It since came out that while he was putting out a public apology to his wife, to try to get her to take him back, he still slided into other female DMs. So the girl in the middle is the female DM that he slid into and trying to hit up on that girl. When Montana filed for a divorce, they were married for less than 2 years. As a side note, Larsa said she left him because he was cheap and he cried a lot. So the question is, if you were Montana, would you take him back, given the position that he put you in, given the fact that the world knew what had happened between you guys, and they have a son who at the time was less than a year old, either less than a year old or a little over a year old. So, ladies, based on the story, based on he wants his family back, if you were in Montana's position, would you take him back? Would you forgive him? Let me know. So let's see what comments come in. Erica said the pity them want to send him more money, but he's not sure about finding a new kitten. The man, Enid says the man loved the kitty cat. That's going back to the previous story. Angie says, hell no, with exclamation marks. Erica says, hell no, in all cap. Colleen says, I would take him back on chalk line. Okay, why would you take him back? And for Erica and Angie, why would you not take him back? So for the ones that said no, why wouldn't you take him back? And for the ones that, and for Colleen who said taking him back on chalk line, why would you take him back? Because of the kid? And why would you not take him back? Because of the fact that the world know what he did to you? Was it a situation where if he had done it and nobody knows, would that have made a difference to you taking him back? But yeah, me wouldn't take him back. Me wouldn't take, not in that situation. I wouldn't take him back. Angie said he's going to keep on cheating. Possibly because, I mean, in the same fact that he's coming out with a public apology to the wife, he's also sliding into the DMs of other women stating that, you know, he wants to get with them in the same time. So, yeah. And he's young, 24. He's an NBA player. He's going to probably think, oh, I'm God's gift to women, so I can do whatever I want. You know, so. Hey, Lindsay, thanks for checking in. Lindsay says, definitely not. Once a cheater, always a cheater. He's young and he's not going to stop there. True. Erica said, that's just like getting beat up and still going back, right? Enid says, I would not. I wouldn't take him back. Based on how the situation played out, based on based on how he came to me, based on how I found out, it's not like he came to me and he said, you know what, I met somebody else and I want to move on and whatever. Like, I found out because it was in the news. You know, there was a picture of him walking hand in hand with Larsa in the airport. That's how I knew that, hey. And to also find out that he told Larsa that he was getting a divorce, him and Montana were no longer together, I would grant him his wish. The man saying realized that all he wanted was at home. See a way if woman fall short, them want sympathy. She needs to know that he's a little boy. Woman. And yeah. No. If it was a situation where he came and he said, you know what we have isn't working. There is somebody else. I'm going to be whatever, moving on. Fine. But for me to find out in the media, because you're walking hand in hand with some woman through the airport and then telling me I have 10 days to get out of our home for some girl you just met. Now we wouldn't be, Colleen says, too much woman on the show. If he was our sons, we would look on it differently. If he was my son, I would slap him upside the head and tell him to treat women with respect. You can't have your wife and young baby at home and then having them find out in the media that you have another older woman that you're gallivanting with her. I'd be slapping you upside the head. Um, Erica says he was quick to put me and his son out and giving me 10 days to move out. What do you think is going to happen in the future, right? And Karen says he walked out and should stay out. Maintain your child. Next. That for me, that part, it's not the fact. I don't even think it's the fact that he cheated is one thing. But the other part is what he did after. That part annoys me. That part annoys me. So yeah. Karen says he's still young and need to find himself first, right? He still have another 6 or 7, maybe 10 years to, find himself. Erica says, Colleen, really know that's so wrong. But yeah, if he was my son, I'd slap him upside the head. Because the way he treated her and what he did was hella disrespectful. No phone call to say, hey, this is going to come out, so I'm going to give you a heads up. No, nothing. No. Yeah. So I'm going to move on to Massachusetts. And this is a good story. So the owners of a convenience store are being congratulated for returning a $1 million lottery ticket. A customer accidentally threw away a scratch ticket they thought was no good as they did not fully scratch it. 10 days later, the owner's son found the ticket in the trash and saw that she didn't scratch the number. Now they knew who the ticket belonged to as she's a regular customer. The dilemma for the son was whether to keep the ticket or hand it over to the actual owner of the ticket. His parents told him to figure it out himself, and his grandparents in India told him they would not want any of that money if he decided to keep the ticket. So he decided to tell the customer the next time they came in the store about the winning ticket. The convenience store was paid $10,000 for the winning ticket, and the customer gave them some money as well. The amount that was given was not disclosed. Question. What would you do if this was you? Would you keep the money or would you give it back? What would you do? What would you do? So, if I knew whose ticket it was, like they knew whose ticket it was, that they could pinpoint and say, yes, it's that lady, it's her, she's a regular, we know it's her, I would give it back. But if we're not sure exactly at Ufa, we're not sure, we can't pinpoint, we can't be exact, I think would I keep it. But if me exactly sure say yes, and a girl, a fair one, but I get it back to her. What would you guys do? What would you guys do? Nobody not do nothing. Okay, so I'm moving on to my WTF moment. Colleen said, dog nyam them suffer if me not sure at all, right? Like I said, if I can pinpoint, just like how they were able to pinpoint and say it's that specific person, then them I get back the money. Them getting it back. But if me not sure at Ufa, if me couldn't pinpoint who, my money. My money. Charmaine says, honestly, give it back. Erica says, hello, that belongs to me. Lindsay says, if I had a ticket with no name on it, I'm keeping it. Yeah, if me not sure I offer, I keep it. But me can't pinpoint and say, say a fair one, a cheating it or whatever. But I give it back. But me can't if me can't, if me not sure, me I keep it. Me keeping it. Enid says, Carlene, you're right. Angie says, I totally agree with you. Yeah, if me not sure how me I keep it. So we're at our WTF moment of the week, and we're taking a trip to El Paso, Texas, where Lucy Ray has been fired from her job at the law firm she worked as a legal assistant because she decided to go into the spider monkey enclosure at the zoo and fed them Cheetos. Zoo officials said she was lucky she was not attacked. They're also mad that she gave them Cheetos, as it could affect their digestive system since that is not a part of their diet. Colleen says, not in the owner of the store getting it. It better fire me. The owner of the store is your parent. Erica says, remember me is not a lottery ticket. It's a scratch and win. Sorry. Yeah, it's a scratch and win. But you can't imagine this woman now gone out of her way if you go in at the zoo, go in at the spider monkey enclosure, if you go feed them Cheetos, just so she can catch it on video. Just so she can put it on social media for your attention. No, she jobless. WTF, man. WTF. And my other WTF moment is also in the USA. A Southwest passenger punched out two of the attendant's teeth, all because she was told to sit, keep her seatbelt on, and wait until the plane had finished pulling up to the gate before she gets up and starts taking her luggage out. Apparently, the passenger did not like being told what to do and got into an altercation with the attendant, which resulted in the attendant being blooded and losing her teeth. That passenger has been charged and will most likely be put on a no-fly list. All because they could not wait an extra 5 minutes before they got up to take down their luggage. When me fly, me sit down and wait till plane stop, till people come off, and then I get up and leisurely take my luggage and walk off. Me not in a no rush, because when me going, me must get there. So, we can imagine. Colleen said she must see monkey. Oh, Jesus. Colleen also said, what a tongue. Can you imagine? Just because you can't wait for the plane to stop. And I see people do that all the time. As soon as the plane land and the palm ground and start taxiing, them start get up and a pull down suitcase. Like, wait till the plane stop. Una know this, and the first time una fly, wait till the plane stop. Wait till the plane stop. So, I don't know what's happening, but yeah. So we're going to move over to Ohio. Charmaine said that's like going to Jamaica. People start to take their luggage out halfway through the flight, right? I sit, I wait. The plane have to stop. Plane stop. When plane stop and everybody I jump out and me wait. Me wait. We must come off of the plane. We must come off of the plane. Karen says blame COVID. I ain't blame COVID. That's how people do all the time. As soon as a plane land, and especially Jamaicans, they when then don't clap, because most other places where me travel to, they don't clap when plane land. When you reach a Jamaica, plane land and them start clap. Once they done clap, them start take down them suitcase. And the plane not stop yet. Lindsay said, one of my biggest pet peeve, people grabbing for their luggage as plane land, right? That is why I always get a window seat. So when them stand up and them a take down them luggage from overhead, it now drop on me. And then now if bounce me and bounce my shoulder, so I always take a window seat. Always take a window seat because for that reason. Always take a window seat. Lindsay said, just like you, I will wait. We're all getting off. Exactly. I always take a window seat. Always wait until wherever. Because it no matter how fast you think you're going to go, we are going to buck up in a customs. We are going to buck up a luggage check. We are going to buck up. Take your time. Colleen says, yup. Yeah, me in a no hurry. Been in a no hurry. So I'm going to go to Ohio. And in southwestern Ohio, a woman won the state's first $1 million Vax-A-Million vaccination incentive prize. And a teen was awarded the first full ride scholarship offered by the program, the state announcement. The winners were selected in a random drawing Monday and had their information confirmed before the formal announcement at the end of the Ohio Lottery's Cast Explosion TV show. So what's happening is in Ohio, in order for them to get more people to get the vaccine and for that to go faster, they're offering scholarships to young adults for them to get full scholarship to school, and they're offering $1 million for the next 5 to 6 weeks to individuals who have gotten vaccine. The names are randomly placed in the draw, and you get $1 million tax free. Other states are doing this as well: New York, Colorado, Maryland, Oregon, and I think they say California is going to start doing that. So if you haven't yet taken the vaccine, would you take the vaccine because you now have the chance to win $1 million? That's crazy. But to each his own. Me take my first vaccine already, so them not for pay me fee. Them not for pay me fee. Charmaine says, can't pay me enough. Colleen says, don't you see in Toronto we get free ice cream for the kids? A free ice cream, I do it. Them never have to pay me. Me go take my one. And who don't want to take it, their choice. Who took it, like I said, I took mine. I didn't get a horn. I don't have 3 breasts. I didn't get a dick. I'm good. So, but yeah, to each his own. So I'm going to go to Jamaica. There's a big story going on right now with that gentleman on screen. His name is Dayton Campbell. He is the PNP Member of Parliament and General Secretary. He is being accused of having sex with young underage girls. This situation has been going on for a while. He was accused a few weeks ago by a PNP activist, Karen Cross, as well as a couple other bloggers, Natalie Stack and Michelle Stern, and they came out and wrote stories about his alleged involvement with underage girls. However, Mr. Campbell did not take too well to those accusations, so he then he has since filed a defamation lawsuit. So when the allegations were first made public, the PNP asked the police to investigate, and the police stated that after extensive investigations into the claims, they found no basis to the allegations that were made. So like I said, Mr. Campbell filed defamation lawsuits against all 3 parties. However, earlier this week, in her response to the lawsuit defending herself, Miss Karen Cross filed documents that included notarized statements from alleged victims who claimed that they were sexually assaulted by Dayton. Victim number 1 stated that she was 14 years old at the time she started having sex with Dr. Campbell. He had sex with her 3 times while she was under the age of 16. Victim number 2 stated that she was 15 years old in 2014 when she had sex with Dr. Campbell, and the relationship lasted between 2014 and 2016. She traveled with him across the island as a minor. He's also given money to her mother. She said she was afraid of her mother because Dr. Campbell was helping the family, so she didn't tell anybody. The 3rd victim stated that she had sex with Dr. Campbell when she was 15 years old in 2015. He was the one who apparently took her virginity. She had sex with him several times because she liked him. They had sex in different parts of the island and in his cars as well. In each case, money is given to both the victims and their family. Allegedly, all statements have been stamped and witnessed by AJP. Mr. Campbell has since vehemently denied all these allegations in a statement published by the Jamaica Gleaner yesterday and earlier today. He claims that they're trying to get him to resign from his position as general secretary, which would pave the way for a new general secretary to be appointed. A coalition of various groups has since asked for his resignation and for him to step down from his post. This came on the heels of the domestic issue situation with Mr. Wright of the JLP party a couple of weeks ago, when he was caught on camera in a physical confrontation with his common law wife. So the next few weeks should be quite interesting regarding this issue, because I'm waiting to see, there are a couple of people I'm waiting to see if they're going to come out and make a statement against Dr. Campbell based on the party affiliation, because I remember a couple of weeks ago when Mr. Wright was being accused of domestic violence, them catch him on camera beat up a woman. And, the people who came out and had stuff to say, I haven't yet seen them come out and say anything against Dr. Campbell. And I'm talking specifically Crystal Tomlinson, because she's a PMP member, and a couple others. So the next few weeks, again, should be quite interesting. They're stating that now that there's notarized statement, the police may reopen the investigation and look further into this, because the statements have been notarized. The JP has said that yes, he's signed off on the paperwork. He had their passports, or he had IDs that confirmed that yes, they said what they said. They are standing by what they say. So should be interesting. But then, I mean, it's sad to say that it's something that's an open secret in Jamaica. It happens a lot, and it happens a lot because of poverty. And a lot of the older men prey on, I'm not saying that that's what he did, but based on the allegations that are out there, and based on what have happened elsewhere too, a lot of older men prey on the younger girls because them know the girl them poor and them have money, and if them give them a money and whatever. And a lot of mothers put out them daughters for support the family in that regard. So I will keep you guys posted regarding this issue, and let you know what comes up. It should be quite interesting over the next couple of days. And also in going to LA, 2 cargo handlers who worked at the LAX airport have been arrested for stealing 4 gold bars. They were arrested by the FBI and charged with conspiracy and theft of interstate and foreign shipment. The shipment was being sent from Australia to New York by a Canadian bank. It was a shipment of 2,000 bars that was being shipped. The bars were offloaded during a stopover at LAX, and when they did an evening inventory check, they discovered that 1 box was missing. 1 box contains 25 bars, and there were 2,000 bars being shipped. The missing box was eventually found by Marlon Moody, one of the persons charged. He took the box to a different location, took 4 bars out of the box. Each bar was worth roughly $56,000 US. It was stated that other cargo handlers found the box with the remaining 21 bars and turned it in. However, Mr. Moody, with the 4 bars he took out, he gave 1 bar to Brian Benson, the other person that was charged. He gave 1 to a relative, and he buried the other 2 in his backyard. Don't know what he intended to do with it after that, but hey. The FBI has recovered all 4 bars. They did not state how they know that these people are the ones who stole the bars. and they are now facing up to 15 years in prison. So in your travels, have you ever lost anything? Had anything stolen out of your luggage? Have you ever lost your luggage? Have you ever had anything stolen? So let me know. But let's see. Colleen says, and some of them have their daughters that they don't want any man to talk to. Facts. Facts on that one. Lindsay said the age of consent in Jamaica is 16. The people making these rules and laws are predominantly males, mostly pedophiles. The age of consent is that low, so these dirty men can use these young girls at will without consequences. That's true. That's true. And there've been calls for the age of consent to be increased, and nothing has been done to it at all. So we'll have to wait to see what comes out of this, if the police are going to do further investigation to see, if they're going to interview the girls that came forward, if there are other girls that are going to come forward, what's going to happen, and all of that things. Because, politicians, they're another breed. They believe they're above the law, and, there are things. Colleen says, but 14 and 15 years old are teeny boppers. Yeah, they are teeny boppers, but at the end of the day, there's a 15-year-old. There was one that said she liked him. He took her virginity, so she continued to sleep with him, according to the reports that were filed. Because Karen Cross filed those reports as a part of her defense against the defamation lawsuit. Now, people are saying that they're not believing those reports. Some people are saying that they're not sure if what's stated in the reports are factual. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens. See if the police, if they, do further investigation, and see what happens. So we're coming to the end of our show, and we're in our segment that I call Soul Chattingz. And our Soul Chattingz for this week is: growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. And that's by Mandy Hale. So we are at our giveaway section of the program. And as you know, every week I give away something. So this week it's the immunity. It's 1 week supply of the immunity. It is not a detox tea. It's a tea to help build your immune system, but it's not a detox tea. It doesn't make you go to the bathroom, it doesn't clean you up, but it helps to build your immunity. It has turmeric and holy basil leaf and other stuff in it. So I am going to start my draw. There's 9 entries this week, and we'll see who it is this week who is going to win the immunity. And Cherise, me I tell you from now, if you win and I get it, Angie. So Angie, message me an address that you would like the teas to be mailed to, and I will send them out to you in the mail. So Angie is the winner this week of the week's supply of immunity. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for hanging out with me, for conversing with me, and for having a conversation with me. Colleen says you can't be doing chorizo every week. Cherise said, congrats, Angie. Go with Bernie. Cherise, you can. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for tuning in. See you same time, same place next week, 9 p.m. Thursdays, Facebook Live, to have another episode of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. Good night. Mwah. Love you all. Take care.